Hey guys, this is my gravel bike, a custom bike that I built myself, and in this video I'm going to show you exactly how I built this bike. At the end of the video I'm going to share the total cost, all my expenses that I had on this bike, and I'll also share a very important step for your hydraulic disc brakes to optimize performance before you go on your first gravel ride. What's up guys, what's up cycling fanatics? Welcome back to part 3 of this custom gravel bike building mini series. In the first 2 parts you saw me struggle with finding parts, finding tools to build up this bike, compatibility of different parts that didn't fit, and the hydraulic brakes in part 2, that was a real challenge, but I got it done. As you can see right here, the bike is ready. And in this part I'll show you how I finished off the bike. It's actually very important to break in your brakes before you go on your first ride. This will drastically increase the performance but also the longevity of your disc brakes. So if you have not seen part 1 and 2 first, click up here and I'll link them in the description. So go check out those parts to see the complete build. And if you like this content, maybe consider subscribing to my channel, so you're not going to miss any of the new content on this gravel bike that's coming up.
Ja, daar gaan we.
Ja?
Finally works. It's time for the last bits and pieces. With the cables and brake hoses all in place and the shifters checked for the right position, I could mount the handlebar tape. This is a job that might go perfect the first time, or you mess it up and you end up rewrapping the damn thing over and over because it just doesn't want to go on straight. Well, I have to confess, it took me a few times to have it go over these hydraulic shifters in a nice way, since they are a bit more bulky than the mechanical shifters. The other side is the same but just mirrored. I cut down the tape at the correct length and in an angle to have it nice straight on the bar. The end cap locks in with an Allen key and a bolt, and that's really nice. I got these cable guides for the front shifting cable. I had to run them past the bottom tube because of the downpull derailleur, but the frame didn't have cable guides for that. So I used these stickers that you can easily place on the frame wherever you want. The clips that came with them were way too wide and I didn't like that, so I ended up fixing them with these really ugly white zip ties, since I didn't have any black zip ties laying around. I definitely have to change that. In the meantime, I got in the saddle that I wanted. This is a Bontrager Montrose Elite. I'm still waiting on a different seat post clamp in the correct shade of gold. I decided on the bottle cages, so I swapped that, and I had a few derailleur bolts in gold that would be a nice touch of detail. Now I had to retune the rear derailleurs for like the 10th time. To prevent damage on the frame from a flapping chain going over rough roads, I mounted this very strong plastic shield. It comes in different packs with different shapes for different parts of the frame. I also used this for my headset to prevent scratches from the cables. A little lube on the chain and we have a finished bike.
I think it's done. I think my bike is finally done. Awesome. So, of course, when you just finish your bike, you're super excited. You want to jump straight on it, onto the gravel and start riding. But I'm going to do one important thing first, and it's break in the brakes. It will drastically extend the lifetime, and especially when you come into muddy conditions and stuff. So
there's multiple ways to do this. Search for it online, and every brake manufacturer will describe a different way to break in the brakes, but they're actually all quite similar. The objective is to heat up the brakes and to have the resin in the blocks slightly melt and form a layer onto the discs. It will also slightly wear in the blocks and the discs into each other. Basically, you just accelerate to about 30 kilometers an hour and then brake as hard as you can to a full stop. You do this about 30 times in a row without any time in between, and that should probably do it. I could actually feel the brakes getting better and better after a few runs. Another way to do this is to go downhill and just hold the brakes for a long time without letting go, just dragging the brakes. Basically the opposite of what you're supposed to do when you're riding normally. On the flat you can hold the brakes and then pedal, which is sort of the same thing, and this will get them very hot as well, having the same effect.
So I did like maybe 10 runs up and back. That's 20 times, but I'm only using the front brake and it's super hot right now, so I think this should be enough. I can say one thing: brakes on this bike are super powerful, so that's good. The grip of the tires is endless, so I can pretty much brake as hard as I want. Awesome. So I'm now going to do the rear brake, just sort of overheat it, and then it should be good.
Ja, gaat hij weer.
So now the moment that you've all been waiting for, I'm gonna share what the total build of this bike has cost me. You know, it doesn't come cheap to build up your own bike from scratch. Because for maybe like 2,000 euros, I would be able to buy a gravel bike with similar components. But this is a standard bike from a shop. It's not exactly how you want it. And above all, it's not the bike that you build with your own hands, your custom hand-built bike. So that's a big difference. Here we go with the total expenses of my bike. It's actually a pretty long list. I'm just gonna go through everything from top to bottom, and I'll try to make it fast. We're starting with the frame, actually not on the market yet, but it's going to be somewhere between 400 and 500 euros. So let's say 500. The wheels, these mountain bike wheels are, I think they're discontinued, but you can still buy them somewhere. The Vittoria Reaction, they're about 900 euros. The bottom bracket, 35.5. The headset from White Industries, 137 euros. The first seat clamp I bought was 20 bucks. Then the Ultegra disc rotors, 72. Oversized pulley system that I couldn't use, 61 euros. The handlebar, it's a carbon bar, so that's 183 euros. The golden seat post I bought, 110. Then the golden shift wires, 45 bucks. The KMC golden chain, 34 euros. The bar tape, 29. A bunch of shipping costs, about 10 bucks. The hose cutting tool that I didn't have for the hydraulic hoses, 7 euros 70. The hydraulic brake hoses, the golden ones, 40 bucks. The cassette locking ring in gold, 5.5. Tubeless valves in gold, 16.5 euros. The brake calipers, the XT mountain bike calipers that I needed to buy, 75 bucks. The bleeding kit, 25. The inner shifting cables, 2 bucks only. Some more shipping costs of about 4. The second golden seat clamp I bought, 38 euros. That was an expensive one. The bleed funnel I had to buy, it was 4 euros. The hacksaw to saw off the fork and the seat post. The saw guide was 25 and the hacksaw was 30 euros. The saddle, 80 bucks. And the group set, I got it online from a marketplace. It was all new, it was 450 euros. So that's actually a very good price. This included the shifters, derailleurs and the calipers, the flat mounts that I didn't use. The front derailleur, because this is a clamp on, and in the group set I bought was a brass on, so another front derailleur was 40 bucks. Then I went to AliExpress to get some stuff. So the titanium bolts all together was 42 euros. The bottle cages, 18 bucks. The carbon seat post was 25. The titanium bottle cages I bought to check out were 27 together. The cable clips for the down tube for the shifting cables, 2 euros 70. And then the crank locking bolt was 2 euros. This comes down to 3,090 euros and 16 cents. I rounded off some numbers. I didn't calculate the tires and the sealant. That would probably be another 100 to 150 euros. I got those from Vittoria. And then the crankset, the Ultegra crankset, I already had that laying around, which is going to be another 150 to 200 euros if you buy a crankset. And then the tools, I did mention some tools that I had to buy, but I had a lot of tools already available. If you don't have anything, definitely count on another 100 to 500 euros on just tools that you need to put a bike together. So in total, I actually spent 356 euros and 69 cents on parts that I couldn't use or were the wrong color or didn't fit or whatever. Most of them I could send back, luckily, and I got the money back. So that's about 3,000 euros to build up a bike like this. So I've got the bike done, but this is only the start of some new adventures. Between Christmas and New Year's, I've planned a very big gravel trip on this bike, and I've actually already received a complete set of bike bags from Restrap that I can use for this bikepacking trip. So I'm already looking forward to my first bikepacking adventure. Guys, if you don't want to miss any of that content coming up, please hit the subscribe button and click up here, or check the description if you want to see more of my rides that I've already done on this bike. I'm gonna see you next time. See ya! Check it out. Hoi. And 96, 69. A very awesome, a very awesome bikepacking. Nu de end shot.
Stop! till this finished bike. I will also talk about vliegtuig. Ga weg.
Hallo.
Kan ik er wel langs of niet?
Ja, toch maar. Ik wacht, ja, ja. Hey. Ook een vet ding.